Captain Zirak peered through the viewport of his sleek silver spacecraft, gazing down at the vibrant blue and green planet below. Earth. The Vortons had discovered this world by accident, and the Council had quickly dispatched Zirak's exploration team to investigate. Their mission was clear: observe, learn, and report back without revealing their presence. "Captain, we've entered Earth's orbit," said Zylara, the ship's navigation officer, her eyes fixed on the glowing panels before her. "Excellent," Zirak replied, his voice steady. "Prepare the observation drones. Let's see what these humans are made of." The drones, tiny and nearly invisible, were deployed to various locations across the planet. They streamed back images and data, revealing a world teeming with life and activity. Zirak watched in fascination as the humans went about their daily lives, completely unaware of the extraterrestrial eyes upon them. One scene, in particular, caught his attention. A group of children playing in a park, their laughter ringing through the air. They were so small, so vulnerable, yet their joy was infectious. Zirak felt a strange warmth in his chest, something he hadn't experienced before. "Captain, initial reports indicate humans are a highly emotional and social species," Zylara noted, her brow furrowed in thought. "They form deep bonds and exhibit a wide range of behaviors driven by their feelings." "Interesting," Zirak murmured. "They seem so alive." As days turned into weeks, the Vortons continued their surveillance, documenting everything from human technological advancements to cultural practices. They were particularly struck by humanity's resilience in the face of adversity. Despite wars, natural disasters, and countless other challenges, humans persisted, constantly striving to improve and innovate. One evening, as the crew gathered in the observation deck, Zirak shared his thoughts. "These humans, they're remarkable. Their capacity for empathy, their creativity, it's unlike anything we've encountered before." Zylara nodded in agreement. "Indeed, they have a unique spark, a drive that sets them apart. We need to understand them better," Zirak decided. "It's time we took a closer look." Using their advanced technology, the Vortans disguised themselves as humans and descended to Earth. Zirak and his team split up, each taking on different roles to blend into society. Zirak found himself in a bustling city, marveling at the sheer diversity of people and experiences around him. He took a job at a local cafe where he observed human interactions up close. The way people connected over a cup of coffee, sharing stories and dreams, was mesmerizing. He saw kindness in the barista who remembered every regular's order, determination in the student studying late into the night, and love in the couple holding hands across the table. One day, a young woman named Emma struck up a conversation with Zirak. "You seem new here? Where are you from?" Zirak hesitated for a moment before replying, "Oh, just a small town far away. I'm here to learn more about this place." Emma smiled. "Well, welcome. If you need any tips or just someone to talk to, I'm here." Her openness and friendliness touched Zirak. He realized that despite their flaws and conflicts, humans had an incredible capacity for connection and compassion. The more he learned, the more he admired them. As Zirak and his crew continued their undercover exploration, they grew to appreciate the complexities and nuances of human life. They were no longer just observers. They were participants, experiencing the world as humans did. Zirak knew that their mission had taken an unexpected turn, but he couldn't help feeling that it was leading them to something greater. The Vortans had come to study humans, but in the process, they were discovering the true meaning of humanity. "Captain, what do we report back to the Council?" Zylara asked one evening as they walked through the city's illuminated streets. Zirak smiled, a sense of clarity washing over him. "We tell them the truth, that humans are extraordinary beings full of potential and promise. and that there's so much more we can learn from them. The journey had only just begun, and Zirak felt a surge of excitement for what lay ahead. Zirak adjusted the collar of his shirt, trying to get used to the human clothing. His disguise was flawless, making him appear as an average man in his mid-30s, with dark hair and a calm demeanor. As he walked down the busy streets of the city, he felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. The Vortans had always observed from a distance, but now they were truly living among humans. He arrived at the cafe where he worked part-time. The familiar scent of coffee and baked goods greeted him as he stepped inside. The morning rush was in full swing, and Zirak quickly took his place behind the counter. "Good morning, Xander," called out the barista, Lisa. The name Xander was the human alias Zirak had adopted. "Morning, Lisa," Zirak replied with a smile. He admired Lisa's ability to remember each customer's order, a testament to the close-knit nature of human interactions. As the hours passed, Zirak found himself engrossed in conversations with customers. There was Mr. Thompson, an elderly man who came every day for his morning coffee and newspaper, and Jenna, a college student who often studied at the cafe. Zirak enjoyed listening to their stories, each one offering a glimpse into different aspects of human life. One afternoon, Emma walked in, her usual cheerful self. She had become a regular at the cafe, and Zirak always looked forward to their chats. "Hey, Xander, how's it going?" she asked, taking a seat at the counter. "Busy as usual," Zirak said with a grin. "What about you?" "Just finished a big project at work. Thought I'd treat myself to a nice cup of coffee," she replied. As they talked, Zirak noticed how easily humans could connect over simple things. Emma's warmth and openness were refreshing, and he found himself genuinely enjoying her company. "Say, Xander, I've been thinking. You mentioned you're from a small town far away. How did you end up here?" Emma asked curiously. Zirak paused, choosing his words carefully. "I wanted to experience something new, to see the world from a different perspective, and I must say, it's been quite an adventure so far." Emma smiled. "That's brave of you. It's not easy starting fresh in a new place." Their conversation was interrupted by a sudden commotion outside. People were gathering around, looking concerned. Zirak and Emma stepped out to see what was happening. A car had broken down in the middle of the street, causing a traffic jam. The driver, a middle-aged woman, seemed distressed. Without hesitation, Zirak approached her. "Do you need help?" he asked gently. The woman nodded, clearly relieved. "Yes, please. My car just stopped, and I don't know what to do." Zirak quickly assessed the situation and realized the problem was with the car's battery. With Emma's help, they managed to push the car to the side of the road and called for roadside assistance. "Thank you so much," the woman said gratefully. "I don't know what I would have done without your help." Zirak smiled. "It's no trouble at all. I'm glad we could help." As they walked back to the cafe, Emma looked at Zirak with admiration. "You really have a knack for helping people, don't you?" Zirak shrugged modestly. "I just do what I can." Back at the ship, the crew shared their own experiences of blending in with human society. Zilara had taken up a role as a school teacher, and she spoke of the children's curiosity and eagerness to learn. Other crew members had joined various professions, each gaining unique insights into human life. "Humans are truly remarkable," Zilara said during their debriefing. "Their ability to adapt and thrive in different situations is astounding." Zirak nodded in agreement. "And their compassion and willingness to help one another. It's something we can learn from." Their mission had evolved beyond mere observation. They were becoming a part of the human world, understanding their struggles and joys on a personal level. Zirak knew they were on the right path, and he was eager to see where this journey would lead. As the night settled over the city, Zirak stood on the rooftop of the building where he lived, gazing at the stars. He felt a deep connection to both his Vortan heritage and his new human experience. The line between observer and participant had blurred, and he realized that this mission was about more than just studying another species. It was about discovering the true essence of what it meant to be alive. The adventure was far from over, and Zirak was ready to embrace whatever came next. The weeks turned into months, and Zirak and his crew grew more integrated into human society. Their dual lives became second nature, and they felt an increasing sense of connection to the people around them. Zirak had developed a close bond with Emma, who often shared stories of her childhood, dreams, and ambitions. One morning, as Zirak prepared to open the cafe, he noticed a tense atmosphere on the streets. People were huddled in small groups, talking in hushed tones. He quickly turned on the TV to find out what was happening. The news was grim. A massive asteroid was hurtling towards Earth, and scientists predicted it would cause catastrophic damage if it hit. "Authorities are urging everyone to remain calm and follow evacuation procedures," the reporter said. "Efforts are underway to deflect or destroy the asteroid, but time is running out." Zirak felt a knot of fear in his stomach. He knew that the Vortans had technology that could help, but revealing their presence could cause widespread panic. He had to make a decision, and fast. That evening, Zirak called an emergency meeting with his crew.
"We can't stand by and watch this happen," he said, his voice firm. "We have the means to help, and we must use it." Zylara looked concerned. "But Captain, if we reveal ourselves, the consequences could be severe. Humans might react with fear and hostility." "I understand the risks," Zirak replied. "But we can't ignore their plight. We have to trust in their capacity for understanding and cooperation." The crew agreed, and they quickly devised a plan. Using their ship's advanced technology, they would intercept the asteroid and alter its course. The challenge was to do it in a way that minimized the chances of detection. As they prepared for the mission, Zirak felt a mix of determination and anxiety. He had grown to care deeply for the humans he had met, and the thought of losing them was unbearable. The next day, Emma visited the cafe, her face pale with worry. "Xander, have you heard the news? This asteroid? It's terrifying." Zirak nodded, his heart heavy. "I have, but I believe there's still hope. We just have to trust that something can be done." Emma sighed, trying to muster a smile. "You're always so optimistic. I wish I could share your confidence." "Just hold on to that hope," Zirak said gently. "Sometimes miracles happen when you least expect them." That night, the Vortans launched their operation. The ship ascended silently into space, cloaked to avoid detection by human satellites. They approached the asteroid, a massive rock hurtling through the void, and began their work. Using a combination of powerful energy beams and gravitational manipulation, they slowly but surely altered the asteroid's trajectory. It was delicate, precise work, requiring all their skill and concentration. As the hours passed, tension mounted. The asteroid was inching away from its collision course with Earth, but it was a race against time. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the asteroid veered off, heading harmlessly into space. "We did it," Zylara said, her voice filled with relief. Zirak let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. "Good work, everyone. Let's return to Earth and monitor the situation." When they landed, the news was filled with reports of the miraculous turn of events. Scientists were baffled by the sudden change in the asteroid's path, attributing it to an unknown force. The public breathed a collective sigh of relief, grateful for the unexpected salvation. At the cafe, customers were buzzing with excitement and gratitude. Emma rushed in, her face alight with joy. "Xander, can you believe it? We're safe. It's like some kind of miracle." Zirak smiled, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction. "Yes, it does feel that way, doesn't it?" As the days passed, life slowly returned to normal. But the experience had left a lasting impact on Sirac and his crew. They had witnessed humanity's strength and resilience in the face of impending disaster, and it had only deepened their admiration for the species. One evening, as Sirac and Emma walked through the park, she turned to him with a thoughtful expression. "You know, this whole asteroid thing made me realize how precious life is. We take so much for granted." Sirac nodded. "You're right. It's in moments of crisis that we truly understand the value of what we have." Emma looked at him, a hint of curiosity in her eyes. "Xander, there's something different about you. I can't quite put my finger on it, but you seem to understand things in a way most people don't." Sirac felt a pang of uncertainty. He had grown so close to Emma, and he dreaded the day when he might have to reveal his true identity. But for now, he simply smiled and said, "Maybe it's because I've seen the world from a different perspective." As they continued their walk, Sirac felt a renewed sense of purpose. The Vortans had come to Earth to study humans, but they had found something much more profound. They had discovered the essence of humanity, and in doing so they had forged a bond that transcended the stars. The future was uncertain, but Sirac was ready to face it, knowing that he and his crew had made a difference. And as he looked up at the night sky, he felt a deep sense of connection to both his home and his new world. The crisis averted, Earth began to rebuild and move forward, carrying with it the memory of an impending disaster turned into a miraculous salvation. Sirac and his crew continued their lives among the humans, now with an even deeper appreciation for the species they had come to study and protect. At the cafe, business had picked up, and Sirac found himself busier than ever. He cherished the routine interactions with customers and the sense of normalcy that had returned. Emma had become a close friend, her presence a constant source of warmth and inspiration. One sunny afternoon, as Sirac was wiping down tables, Emma walked in with a spring in her step. "Xander, I have some exciting news." Sirac looked up, intrigued. "What's going on?" Emma beamed. "I've been selected to be part of a team working on a new international project. It's all about enhancing global cooperation and preparing for future emergencies. Can you believe it?" Sirac's heart swelled with pride. "That's incredible, Emma. I'm so happy for you." "Thanks, Xander. I owe a lot of my inspiration to you. Your outlook on life, your optimism. It's contagious," she said, her eyes shining with gratitude. As the weeks went by, the world began to show signs of transformation. Governments and organizations started collaborating more closely, inspired by the near miss with the asteroid. There was a renewed focus on unity and preparedness, with humanity coming together to safeguard their future. The Vortans, too, decided it was time to share some of their knowledge with the humans. They began discreetly introducing advanced technologies and solutions, subtly guiding scientific discoveries and innovations. This led to a series of breakthroughs in medicine, energy, and environmental sustainability. One evening, the crew gathered for a meeting aboard their ship. The atmosphere was filled with a sense of accomplishment and anticipation. "We've come a long way," Xylara said, looking around at her fellow crew members. "Our mission has evolved in ways we couldn't have imagined." Sirac nodded. "We've done more than just observe. We've become a part of this world and have contributed to its progress." "What's next for us?" one of the crew members asked. Sirac smiled thoughtfully. "We continue our journey. We keep learning, helping, and bridging the gap between our worlds. Our presence here is just the beginning." As they dispersed, Sirac felt a sense of fulfillment. He knew their work on Earth was far from over, but they had laid the foundation for a lasting partnership between humans and Vortans. The next day, Emma invited Sirac to a celebration in the city park, where people had gathered to commemorate their survival and resilience. The atmosphere was festive, with music, laughter, and a palpable sense of hope. Emma pulled Sirac aside, her expression serious yet hopeful. "Xander, there's something I've been wanting to ask you." You've become such an important part of my life, and I can't help but feel there's more to you than meets the eye. Who are you, really? Sirach took a deep breath, knowing the moment of truth had arrived. Emma, there's something you need to know. I'm not who you think I am. My name isn't Xander, and I'm not from a small town. I'm from another world. Emma's eyes widened in shock, but she remained silent, letting him continue. I'm part of a race called the Vortans. We came to Earth to study and understand humanity, but along the way we found ourselves becoming a part of it. We intervened to save Earth from the asteroid, and we've been sharing our knowledge to help your world progress. Emma took a step back, processing the revelation. So, all this time, you were an alien? Sirach nodded. Yes, but everything I felt, everything we shared, was real. I've grown to care deeply for you and this world. Emma's shock slowly turned into understanding. I don't know what to say. It's a lot to take in. I understand, Sirach said softly. But I wanted you to know the truth. You deserve that. Emma looked at him, her eyes filled with a mix of emotions. Thank you for telling me. And thank you for everything you've done. It's strange, but it doesn't change how I feel about you. If anything, it makes me appreciate you even more. Relief washed over Sirach, and he smiled. Thank you, Emma. Your acceptance means more to me than you know. As the celebration continued around them, Sirach and Emma stood together, looking towards the future. They knew there would be challenges ahead, but they also knew that with cooperation and understanding, anything was possible. The bond between humans and Vortans had been forged in the fires of crisis and tempered by mutual respect and admiration. Together they would embark on a new era of exploration, discovery, and friendship, reaching for the stars with hope and determination. And as Sirach looked up at the night sky, he felt a profound connection to both his Vortan heritage and his new human friends. The journey was far from over, but with Emma by his side and the promise of a brighter future, he was ready for whatever lay ahead. Thanks for watching this sci-fi story. Subscribe to watch more amazing sci-fi stories.